Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Coronation Saturday. As you know, I'm wearing my outfit for the coronation. We are all sort of dressed up for coronation. I'm not sure why. I can hear a little bit of an echo. We're going to sort that out in a moment. But I do hope you're enjoying us. I can see from the comments lots of people are watching us and they're also watching the coronation at the same time. Obviously, this is our bank holiday weekend in the UK and we're going to be celebrating. We've got some party food. I've got my crown on. And of course, I've got the lovely Princess Lily with me. Hello, Lily. How are you?
Like that. We've got Queen Becky and Princess Lily for the day. I think quite like that, but I'm so excited to be here. I know a lot of you guys at home have got the split screens. You've got us on one and then you've got the coronation on the other, but join us for the whole day. We've got lots going on, lots of amazing deals, lots of goodies to tempt you with. It's going to be an absolute fabulous Right Royal celebration here today on Crafters TV.
We are just going to pause the show for a couple of minutes. We've got a couple of sound issues you can probably hear. I feel like I'm at Wembley because I can hear my sound reverberating. So we'll be back in a couple of moments once we sort that out. Hello everybody, back again. Sorry about that. It's all sorted out now. And originally, Lily and I both thought it was the sound of the coronation happening from inside the cafe, but it isn't. It's all fixed now. We're back. We have got a fantastic day for you. Lots and lots of great deals. We've got on the website up until midnight on Monday, you'll get double points on everything. So it's definitely worth having a look to see if there's any items on there that you want to buy that you're going to boost up and to move into that different category in your Club Inspire. We've also got a 20% offer for you. That is with Crown 20. That is a promo Crown 20. And it's off selected items on the website. Again, you'll be able to find all that information on there as well. But we've also got a first look later on today. And we've got some great deals for you throughout the shows. Obviously, Saturday morning, it's my favourite show ever, Play Your Crafts Right. And apparently it's got a royal theme to it, which Lily and I are a bit worried about because as we both pointed out, I only know the Tudors. If it's anything to the royal family. And I think, Lily, you said around about the same.
Yeah, I think I know about Henry VIII and maybe Queen Victoria, and apart from that, that's about it. So it could be a very, very interesting game. Yeah. But yeah, in celebration of the coronation today, so it's going to be a super, super fun show and a super fun day. So we've got lots lined up. That first look at 2 o'clock, you're going to have to make sure you join us for that because I am so, so excited. It's all about our brand new Duet ink pads launching on Tuesday. We're going to give you that sneaky peek, that first look. You're going to want to get these, so definitely make sure you stay tuned for the whole day.
It's going to be a right royal day. We've got lots of people messaging in to say hello. Sarah Brown says, hello, my friends, hoping you're all well. I have the coronation on now. It's around 8 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. Samantha says, good morning, all. Watching Cece and the coronation from New York City at the same time. Kathleen says, good morning, watching the coronation. I wish we had a TV just here so we could keep an eye on what's going on, but you know, we can catch up with that later. Linda says, good morning, everyone from Maryland. Brenda says, good morning from Kentucky, watching the coronation. Coronation and the Kentucky Derby this afternoon. That is going to be good. You're going to be very busy watching TV today and crafting as well, I'm assuming. Barbara says, hello everyone from Indiana. Barbara McNeil says, hi everyone from New Jersey. Stephen says, morning everyone, watching the King's coronation, then off to Tesco to have an eye test. Working in front of computer screens for 10 hours a day isn't fun for the eyes or the robots. No, that's quite tough. I think I need to go and have an eye test. Christy Mahoney says, wow, you look beautiful. Thank you. I had a good night's sleep. Carletta says, good morning everyone from Arkansas. Sandy says, good morning from Florida's Treasure Coast. And Kaz Jones says, morning all. Carol Dunn said, good morning to you all. Good morning. I do hope your weekend is getting off to a great start. As I say, we've got plenty of items on the show for you today. And we're going to start with these fantastic tri-blends. I can't even pick them all up because there's so many of them. But we've got these tri-blends here. This is the first. I just can't hold them up. We've got six packs altogether. With these, all different colours that you're going to be using. These are absolutely beautiful, a lovely selection of colours, and these are our tri-blend
oh dear.
Tri-blend brush nibs. These are a new collection of different colours, aren't they, Lily? I'm just going to give up with this. These are all these are a new sort of collection. They've got some really sort of muted tones in them. These are just £35 or $50. Platinum price is £28 or $40. Remember, again, any points that you're going to be getting today up until midnight, you'll be able to double up on those. Using these is very different to using the ordinary tri-blends with that bullet nib, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I always say, you need everything when it comes to our colouring mediums because everything does a different job. And what you've got with these pens is you've got your classic sort of tri-blend technology that we've brought you for quite a few years now, and is very, very famous and well loved by so many of our craft experts. And what we mean by a tri-blend pen, perhaps you've never seen one before, is it's almost like 3 pens in one. So you get your light, your medium and your dark shades from that same colour family, all in the one pen, allowing you to very, very easily get those shaded and toned effects just using that one barrel. So you go from your light all the way up to your dark within that same colour family. The difference with our tri-blend brush pens as opposed to our tri-blend regular bullet nibs is you've got that lovely quality beautiful brush nib on the end of these, which allows you to get lots of different techniques with your skin, with your hair, your fur, allows you to do that flicking technique very easily that we'll have a little look at later on in our demos as we move through the show. But you're getting so much within this collection. You're getting 18 pens, and I've actually printed off the colour charts that you get, and you're getting every single one of these colours within that collection with our Weekend Wonder deal, which is absolutely fantastic because you've got such a range of different colours, whether you prefer colouring in your characters, whether it's going to be more nature or landscape, whatever your sort of choice of colouring types of images that you like to colour in, this is going to cover you, and you get so much included. We're saying 18 pens, but of course within each pen you're getting almost like 3 pens in one, so you're getting tons within this collection. A great deal, and you'll be seeing that throughout the show. I'll be using these to colour with, not just this morning but throughout the whole day, so definitely one to pick up, especially if you're new to colouring, because tri-blends make it so easy.
Oh, I do like those. I'll go through the colour packs you're going to get in here whilst I'm destroying the set. The first one is your Spring Blooms. Then it's Cottage Garden. Then we have Winter Holiday. We then have Autumn Hues. Then we have Classic Chic. And natural tones. So all of those pens, as Lilly was saying, you'll be able to make a multitude of different tones in there. And that little sort of colour chart that you showed us just then, you can download that from the website, can't you?
Absolutely. So you can go on the Spectrum Noir website. We have blank colour charts that you can fill in there. But all I did to create that is I actually went on the, if you go on the products within our website, all those colour charts are on there, and I just literally printed them off just to show you guys at home exactly what you're getting.
Fantastic. That is one of the great deals we've got for you today, and I know so many of you love our pens. They love the way that they work. I think they've become a little bit addictive because you'll want the whole set of everything. I know that I do. Lots of people still messaging in. I think loads of you are watching the coronation and us at the same time. Diane says, good morning Becky, Lilly and crafty friends and CCTV crew. Barbara McNeil says, Becky, you look so lovely. You look perfect for today's events. Georgia Asda, this one. You can get clothes from other places, of course, but obviously it needed the crown because it is the opportunity of a lifetime to wear a crown on the coronation. I'll send a little picture over to King Charles later on to show him what's going on. Another item that we have on the show today, and he has been so popular, is the Bohemian collection that we've got. Now, I had a look yesterday at the magazine that we have, which has got some of the elements of the Bohemian collection, but not the same elements. They're different types of things in there, but that was the first opportunity I had to have a look at it. And these things are absolutely gorgeous. The first item we've got in this, completing this showstopper, are some metal charms. You've got those kind of, what they called, Greek dream catchers that you've got here with those feathers. The next thing we have is an embossing folder here. Really, really beautiful. We've got some gorgeous tassels in all of those beautiful colours, the turquoise and the oranges, really, really beautiful. We've got some ribbon. And then we start going into stencils, great for using with your glitter paste. We have got an embossing mandala. Then we have got this stencil here with the dream catcher and the kind of moon, the shape that you've got there. We've also got a stencil in a feather, very intricate kind of feather with different kinds of feels to it. Then we've got some stamps with your sentiments on. We've also got a moon kind of dream catcher kind of feel to it. This is a die. We've also got a stamp with that beautiful girl on it. It looks like she's just come from Coachella or Glastonbury. Glastonbury when the weather's good. We've then got some little dies here of the feathers. We've got the outer dies as well, so you can cut out all of those outer dies and stamps collection, I think. Yep, the stamps there. Then we've got another die set here. This is wild feathers. Just trying to get everything in order. It's all right, and I'll show you the boards in a moment. We've also got in here, we've got our 6x6 paper pad. We've also got a selection of vellums. They are absolutely gorgeous. Look at those. We've got a selection of linen cardstock in all of those really bright, vibrant colours. I love that teal and the orange and the pink together. I think it looks stunning. And then finally, we've got 12x12 paper pad. If I flick through, you'll be able to see all of these. Now, as with all our paper pads, we've got a more muted tone on the back of them, but look at those colours and that imagery. It's absolutely beautiful. Love that dark purple I do, and that, they are absolutely gorgeous. Little flecks of gold in some of these. They are beautiful, beautiful papers, and obviously this is replicated in the 6x6 paper pad. The price today is £150 or $200. Platinum price is £120 or $160. You will get double points on this as well, so it's definitely worth something to pop into your basket. This is just a stunning collection, isn't it?
Absolutely it is, and it's something a little bit different as well. We bring you a lot of floral collections, bring you a lot of butterflies and all that sort of thing. But this is something a little bit different in terms of the colourways as well. The colourways are absolutely sumptuous. It's going to take you crafting through the year in, year out. It really is timeless imagery. They're a little bit of a modern twist, but it's something that's not going to date. I think it's going to be something you really enjoy crafting with. That's what we're going to start off with for our first demonstration. So we're taking one of our stamps within the collection, and this is an absolutely beautiful selection of stamps. You get your main image and then you get your sentiments as well. And this is our enchanting floral feather, but you do get everything included within that incredible showstopper. So we have a look at the stamp. It's quite a long size stamp, and perhaps you're looking at that and thinking, I prefer to make smaller cards, or perhaps you prefer to make square cards. You're perhaps wondering how that's going to work in your crafting, but don't just think of always using that full image. All we've gone ahead and done is we've taken a piece of Nina cardstock that's been cut down to 4 inches by 4 inches, and all we've done is we've literally just stamped a section of that image. So don't always use that full image if you don't want to. Just stamp a small selection onto your cardstock, and it's still going to give you an absolutely fabulous effect. All we've done is we've stamped onto Nina, and then we have stamped using one of our Finesse alcohol proof ink pads, and that's our Pebble, because we're going to get doing a little bit of colouring using these fabulous Tri-Blend brush pens. Not easy to say, especially at this time on a Saturday morning, but Tri-Blend brush pens is what I'm going to use. And maybe I should stop calling them that, because I'm going to get very much tongue-tied. Now, let's start off with our bright pink blend. I'm going to start on the flowers. And something I always say with your colouring is start on one section and work on a small section at a time, rather than focusing on that whole image, and just break it down. So let's start on this flower here, and I'm just going to turn my cardstock ever so slightly, just so it's sort of facing the right way around. I find it a little bit easier to colour in that way. Now, we were talking earlier how we've got 3 different pens, if you like, within the one. You've got your light, your medium and your dark. So we're going to start off with that lightest within our bright pink blend. And if I bring back in our colour chart, you can see that's within our cottage garden set that you're getting within that fabulous Weekend Wonder deal. So let's start off with this flower at the bottom, and all we're going to do is going to take our pen, and these are such a joy to colour with. They're so almost like soft and silky with that brush nib. It really is a joy to lay down that colour. So smooth, so easy to get that even blend onto your cardstock. And using our Nina cardstock, that is the best cardstock that you can use when it comes to your alcohol pens. It takes that ink beautifully. It allows you to get that smooth laydown of colour and that blend between your different, your lights and your shades within that colour family. So definitely do check out the website. We will have our Nina cardstock on there. It's a 216 GSM, so it's heavy enough that it's not going to sort of buckle or bend when you pop down your alcohol marker onto there, but it's not so thick that it's going to be really heavy and add a lot of weight to your cardstock. So that is the perfect one to use with the alcohol markers, whether it be our tri-blends like we're using here, whether it's your classiques, your illustrators, any alcohol-based medium, the one you want to go for is definitely your Nina. And we've stamped using that alcohol-proof ink pad just so that it doesn't bleed when we lay down our colour. So we're laying down our pink, that lightest colour shade, all over that flower, and at this point in time it looks quite flat, so we're going to start to bring in some shading, and this is where we go up to our mid-tone. And I always say our stamps have been so cleverly designed as to add in all the clues as to where the light and shade might be, where you need to add those darker tones and where the highlights might be within that image. And all I'm doing is I'm laying down this medium tone. I'm thinking about where the light source and where the light and shade might be, and I'm not overcomplicating things. I'm just thinking if there's one petal over the top of another, the one beneath is going to have a shadow cast onto it, so it's going to be a little bit darker, it's going to be in shade, and that's where I'm adding those darker colours onto the flower. I'm not being really precise, I'm not being really particular, I'm not getting really technical and trying to make things confusing. I'm just laying down that colour, that mid-tone from that bright pink blend onto this flower. It's very nice and easy to lay down, and when you've got that brush nib, how gorgeously does that ink flow onto your cardstock. And we're just going around and completing this part of the image, and you'll notice that we've got a couple of these flowers stamped onto this panel, but I'm only focusing on one at a time. We don't need to colour in all of those flowers at once. Now, if you think...
It's a great stamp. There's a lot to it, isn't there?
Gorgeous, isn't it? It is such a joy to colour. I have to say, when I first got my collection, this was the very first stamp that I sat down and coloured in. It is a real joy to colour. But like I was saying, even if you are a beginner, it's easy enough to colour when you've got the right pens, like our Tri-Blend brush, and when you've got such cleverly designed artwork, it means you've got all the line work in there already, giving you the clues as to where that light and shade will be. So even if you're brand new to your Tri-Blends, brand new to your alcohol pen colouring, brand new to crafting even, you're still going to get absolutely brilliant results. Now all we're doing now is we're going up to our darkest colour shade, and I'm just going to flip my cardstock over, and what you'll notice is you can see pink on the back. Now a lot of new crafters, a lot of new colourists sort of panic and think that there's an issue where you can see the colour on the reverse. That's absolutely fine, that's perfect. That's what we want to see, because that means that our ink, our alcohol pen ink, is actually moving through the fibres of the cardstock. And you'll notice that I've got a piece of scrap paper underneath the piece that I'm working on to. It doesn't have to be any fancy card, it doesn't have to be a Nina, just any old scrap paper will do. And what that does is it means that the ink is drawn through as it goes through to the other side. It's then sucked into the paper beneath. If you have something that's non-porous, like a glass mat, then what will happen is as that alcohol ink moves through the reverse of your cardstock, through the piece that you're colouring onto, then it will pool on your glass mat, and then what can happen is it can actually be sucked back up into the piece that you're actually colouring onto and can bleed outside the line. So that's definitely a top tip. Make sure you've always got your piece of cardstock underneath the one you're colouring onto. And quite quickly and quite easily, we've coloured our flower, and that comes together super simply when you've got your tri-blends, when you've got that beautiful stamp as well. And all we're going to do to finish off the centre, bring in our gold brown blend, and again you're getting that within that Weekend Wonder deal, so you're not having to buy any additional pens, you're getting all of those included within that fabulous collection. So that's our flower done. How easy and how quick was it to colour in that flower and get all that depth and dimension onto there. Now I was talking about the brush nib earlier, and I just want to show you one of the fabulous things about that brush nib, because we can do lots of different techniques with that brush. So let's start off with our jade green blend, with our lightest. I'm going to start off with the same sort of technique as we did as we were colouring the flower. We're just focusing on this one leaf at a time rather than all the leaves on the image, just the one at a time. That makes it more manageable in terms of it's a lot less daunting focusing on that one area. But it also means that we're working when our ink is still wet. We're working wet into wet, which makes it a lot easier to blend.
Right, okay.
Now we bring in our mid-tone, and this is where that brush nib really comes into its own. So we're going to colour down the centre, and then all we're going to do is we're going to let that brush nib do all the work, and we're literally just going to flick. So it comes sort of from the wrist, it's not going from the elbow, it's not a sort of a big action of your arm, you're just flicking from the wrist, and that allows you to get that lovely blend onto there, that realistic effect. And we do exactly the same with our darkest within this 3-pen blend. We just flick, overlapping some of that mid-tone but not going over that full area, and that will give us that beautifully shaded leaf. So easy to do when you've got that fabulous brush nib. Now I'm just going to fast forward to one where I've coloured in some of the other areas. So you can see I've just continued that same process. Doesn't it pop? So exactly the same technique on your flowers, on your leaves, and it's the same on the feathers, the same as doing that lovely flicking technique. And then we've just used our blue turquoise blend onto the butterflies. Now a couple of finishing touches that we're just going to do is I'm actually going to bring in now this has to be one of my crafty best friends, I have to say. This is an absolute game changer. Okay. So this is actually from our Academy of Colour original box. It's our opaque white pen. It's an acrylic paint marker, and it is absolutely incredible. So you've got quite a fine bullet nib onto there. I'll put it onto white cardstock. It looks like nothing at all because it is white. Now, this is amazing for adding in your highlights. Perhaps you want to lift this image a little bit more and add back in those lighter areas. All we're going to do is just go around with this pen, and I find this a lot easier to work with. Some people use a gel pen, a white gel pen, but I find this gives you a much more opaque effect, a much stronger highlight onto there. I think it gives you a little bit of a better result. So just going round on some of the tips where we've got that lightest colour and just adding back in those highlights. And it's such a small little trick. It only takes a minute or two just to go around and fill in those areas, but it makes such a difference. I would say it's one of those little techniques that's a little bit addictive. Once you start doing this, you will be doing it on all of your coloured images. But what a difference that starts to make.
It really does, doesn't it?
Makes it
really
pop.
lifts it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did this and I was like, wow, it's practically a magic technique, which I think is absolutely fabulous because it's so easy. Anybody can do that at all. And doesn't that sort of transform? If we bring back in the one that we originally coloured, look at that difference. Doesn't it just pop that little bit more?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, one final little tip and trick that I like to do is actually giving it a little bit of a shadow. Now, this is a great one. Perhaps you've coloured outside the lines ever so slightly. This is another fabulous little magic trick, as I like to call it, to actually sort of disguise that. Let's go in with our blue turquoise blend. Again, you're getting that within the winter holiday collection of that amazing Weekend Wonder deal. We're going in with that lightest colour from that 3-pen blend, and all we're going to do is we're just going to colour around the very edge of all of this image. Now, you can do this with a grey, but we're going to go for a blue. I think this is going to work really nicely, and when we bring in our pattern papers in a moment, you'll see sort of why I've chosen to go with a blue. But very easy to do. Again, once you've got that gorgeous quality brush nib, really does make colouring an absolute dream. Makes it so easy, so effortless to lay down that colour. I'm not being super precise. I'm literally just going around the edges. And if you have gone outside the lines at an earlier date, you will sort of disguise it at this point, which is absolutely fabulous. I always say with craft, with colouring, there are no mistakes at all. There's always sort of a way to disguise things. Quite often it's to stick a butterfly over it, let's be honest. But in this case, we're just going around the outside with this light blue pen. And it's going to make such a difference. It's going to make that image pop.
It does make a difference going around that, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? It's just these little tips and techniques that we sort of pick up over the years. And you might think, I'm not sure that's going to make a massive difference, just going around the edge with one pen or just adding in those white highlights. But it's these things that we pick up that really do transform your artwork. And I know it's a little bit of a cliche, but it really does take your colouring to that next level. If you're wanting that really professional finish, then little tips and techniques like that is going to allow you to get that very, very easily, even if you're new to crafting and new to colouring, which I think is absolutely fabulous. So here we've got our fully coloured image. Doesn't that pop? We've started off with that lovely image with all that gorgeous line work in there, all that detail, and just using our tri-blend brush pens, we've completely transformed that. Absolutely love that. So much fun to colour. Now let's build it up into a card. So we're taking some of that fabulous linen cardstock, and oh my goodness, is this colour right up my street. That pink is absolutely stunning.
Is that your favourite colour, pink?
Oh gosh, yeah, definitely.
I didn't see you wearing enough pink, Lily.
See, it's funny because you usually wear pink sort of in day to day, but practically all of my running clothes are pink.
Oh really?
Yeah, so I don't generally wear a lot of pink, but I absolutely love pink. I've got a little pink radio that I have in my craft room to have my music on, but yeah, I love my pink, and this pink is absolutely gorgeous. So mat and layer that onto a piece of the pink, which is 1/4 inch larger. And then, oh my goodness, look at these pattern papers.
They are gorgeous, aren't they?
Aren't they incredible? All the layers, all the detail in there. The reverse is a little bit more muted. We'll use that in just a moment, but we're going to use that front, that more detailed side. And this is one of the sheets from that amazing 6x6 pad. Of course, you're getting both the 6x6 and the 12x12, just depending on the size of your project. Of course, the 6x6, the designs have been sort of scaled down a little bit, so they're ideal for your smaller cards. Mat and layer that onto the pink, doesn't that just pop? Let's bring in our card base, 6x6 inch card base, and then all we've done on that front is we've scored at 3 as we're going to create an easel card.
Okay.
So an extra piece of white card. This is our multi-purpose card, of course, my absolute favourite. Go to, I believe the A3 is in stock on the website at the moment. That's what I've used for this particular card. You cut it down to 6 inches by 12, score at 3, score at 6. Extra piece of 6x6, glue onto that bottom section, pop this together, and an easel card in an instant. So easy, but a real sort of eye-catching card shape. You wouldn't see a card in the shops in this sort of shape, so it's nice to have something that's nice and personal. Then we're going to bring back in our mats and layers that we've just put together using our gorgeous pattern papers and that lovely linen cardstock. And I have to say, linen cardstock is absolutely beautiful. I think there's something really quite expensive looking about having that linen texture. Sometimes when you've got brightly coloured card and it's smooth in finish, sometimes it can look a little bit, I know dull's a bit of a strange word to say when it's a bright colour, but it can look a little bit flat. Sometimes a little bit cheap looking, I have to say, but bring in that linen texture and it really does elevate it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. And then we'll pop our corresponding mat and layer onto the top of our card base. We've taken some more of those pattern papers. The difference with this one is it's exactly the same paper. We've just used reverse, so it's a little bit more muted.
Okay.
And again, we've mat and layered that onto that lovely linen cardstock, just so everything's matching, everything's tying together, and everything works in sort of perfect harmony. And that's the thing about getting a Sarah signature collection like this. Everything's been designed to work together. Everything matches. Everything works in terms of the scale as well, which is fabulous. So you're going to get really professional looking cards, even if you're new to crafting, which is what it's all about. If we bring back in our topper, we're going to place that onto that top part of our easel card. Let's bring in some of our foam tape just to lift this up a little bit, give it a little bit more dimension.
What was that, Lily, that you've got in your hand?
It's foam tape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's foam tape, Becky. You won't catch me out. Well, not yet.
I know. I was saying yesterday when I was on with Craig, I try and catch people out, and I did get Craig to sing it.
Oh dear.
I can never get Lily to say it by accident.
Yeah.
It's never been able to do it.
I have. Nicola's saying I've never done it. I have done it, Nicola, in the past. Yes, a long time ago. Not my own choice, of course. I was very much pressured into doing so. But yeah, when I was producing last weekend, Becky kept trying to get me to say it in her ear, and I would not do it. It's foam tape. But I've actually, ever since I started crafting, I've actually always called that foam tape. It's just since I came here, we call it another name here, but I'm going to stick to foam tape. It's a tape that's made of foam, so you know, makes sense. That's exactly what it is. But I have to say, this is one of my crafting must-haves. The amount of those I get through is quite frankly scary. I usually buy 5 at a time, let's be honest. They are an absolute essential. When you need that little bit of dimension, these are absolutely perfect. Another strip of our paper and our card, and this is actually going to be our stopper for our card base. So we're just going to decide exactly how much we want our card to stand up. We want it quite far forward, stood up quite a lot. I think we'll go about there, but of course completely your own choice when it comes to your easel cards. Again, it's nice to have options when we're crafting. Ooh,
you know, you said you like pink.
Yes.
Did your parents call you Lily after the song, Lily the Pink?
Do you know what? I'm not sure why I was called Lily, actually. It is a good question. I'm not sure.
Do you know the song Lily the Pink?
I do, yeah. See, yeah.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
See, I know why my sister was called Hannah, but why I was called Lily, I'm not sure.
Yeah, what's your niece
Oh,
called?
my little niece is Lola May.
Oh, that's nice.
She's very, very cute. Lola May, if you're watching, hello. We're going to make a craft review very, very soon. It won't be long before she's crafting, that is for sure, if I've got any say in it. But yeah, my gorgeous little niece, she's a couple of weeks old now, 2 or 3 weeks old, but she's doing very well.
It's great being an aunt.
Oh, yes.
Because you can have all the joy of playing with a child and none of the responsibility. You can just be the real cool one, the one that teaches them how to say naughty words. That's what I liked doing when I was an aunt. Well, I'm still an aunt, but my nieces and nephews are quite old now. So I can't teach them rude words anymore. But yeah, I used to find that quite entertaining.
She'll definitely be coming crafting with me. That is for sure, yes. As soon as she can pick up a pencil, that'll be it. Right, you're crafting. So all we've done here is we've stamped one of the sentiments, of course, included within the collection. Now we've taken that gorgeous feather stamp. You get coordinating dies for these. So we've stamped, coloured, again using our fabulous Tri-Blend brush pens. Managed to say it that time. Well done, Lily. Pat on the back for me. And then we've just taken the die and we've just die cut the feather, not stamped it, and we've drop shadowed that. Doesn't that look absolutely fabulous? Makes it pop that little bit more. And we're just going to use that. Yeah, let's pop it on. I was thinking, do we go that way or do we go that way? I think let's go that way. I'm going to pop it onto our card just to finish off that stopper and add that little bit more detail onto the bottom of our card. It gets everything tying together as well. We've got the feathers on the top, we've got the feathers on the base. Quite a simple card design, but letting that artwork, letting that colouring sort of take centre stage. How stunning is that Bohemian collection?
That's
if you've not already got yours, you need it. Absolutely, you need it. It's an absolutely gorgeous collection.
Absolutely beautiful. Really, really like that. Before we go and get started on the first round, I wanted to say I didn't add these into the Showstopper collection. So these are some gilding flakes. I'd have forgotten about these. You do get those in there as well. And also, while we're here, I just want to show you a couple of other samples from that collection while we get ready for the game. They are absolutely beautiful. The colours in these, all of the different designs. I do really like the feathers and those dream catchers. They are absolutely beautiful. Here's another one using some of those gilding flakes. Stunning. They are really, really pretty. This one here, more sort of muted tone on the outside, but that's a beautiful card here. As always, our design team creates some fantastic samples for you to see, but they really are very, very pretty. And then this last one here. So this is your Bohemian Showstopper collection. This is £120 or $160 platinum price with double points as well. Right, lots of people messaging in. Everyone's watching the coronation and us at the same time. Good morning from Lynn. Kelly says, did you make that address? No, I didn't. I bought this one. I wish I had made it, but I just didn't have time. Barbara says, Lily, I love the card that Sarah made with this stamp. Looking forward to receiving it and colouring it on a card to follow the steps that you're showing us. Brenda says, very pretty flower. Fred says, morning or watching Coronation 2 CCTV. Sorry to be late. Diane says, thanks very much. We need this for the game. Suzanne Dawn says, good morning, coronation to you all. So good coronation morning to you all. Fred says again, God save the King Charles, but God bless Crafter's companion. Woohoo! Lots of people say we've got a very handsome Prime Minister. That's Dishy Rishi. Lots of people loving that card. It's very beautiful. Suzanne Dawn says, beautiful card. Diane says, wow. Lynn Harvey, very pretty, beautiful samples. It really is a lovely collection. Right, so we're going to get started on the game. So this is a royal game. It's got a royal theme to it, which we're a bit worried about because I wasn't particularly good at history or geography at school, so whenever it's anything like that, I just know I'm going to not do very well. So I am team Facebook, Lily is a team YouTube. Lily always says, oh, I'm never going to do well on these games, and she always thrashes me, which I don't like.
I think I might have beat you once, Becky.
No, you've beat me a number of times. Lily, you lull me into a false sense of security, and I think, oh yeah, I'm going to win this one, and then she's just like, no, I know.
I'm not confident. I have to say, as I've said earlier, I know nothing about royal family history, so this could be very, very interesting.
Yeah. Well, we've got clues apparently, so that's good. So if we are struggling, we might be able to, save our faces by not doing it terribly incorrectly. So grab your pens and papers. Let's see what the first question is.
Ooh, what we got?
Who am I? I am Becky. Okay. He was very short, apparently.
Oh.
Apparently. So do we know who this is?
I hope so. This is probably the only one that I'm going to get, as I said earlier.
I've said Henry VIII.
I've gone for Roman numerals.
Oh.
I do love a good Roman numeral.
Get you.
I hope I've got it right now.
It just looks like I've written partially an invitation to someone's birthday party. Henry VIII's birthday. I think this is Henry VIII.
I hope so.
Yes.
There we go.
Well done. Oh, I haven't got... I need to get a little bit of tissue. Give me
a second. At least I've got one.
We've been a little bit preoccupied with the whole coronation.
We have.
Pieces, haven't we? Right. Next one. Come on. What's this one going to be? Who am I? Funnily enough, these are the two people we said we knew.
I know. It's all downhill from here, isn't it?
I imagine it's going to get a lot harder.
Oh, we've got clues. We've got
this
clues.
One?
Right, yep.
Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria.
Is that right? Yeah, anyone that doesn't...
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know she was the first. I'm glad you're not taking points off if we've not...
We need to take all the points we can get. Well, I certainly do.
Yeah, are we doing Roman numerals? No, because that would just confuse me.
Oh.
I don't know my left from my right. It takes me a while to work out Roman numerals.
I do like Roman numerals.
Do you?
Yes, I don't know why. I remember learning them at school and I was in my element. There you go.
Right, number 3.
Oh.
Who am I? Okay, that is not even helping me, that clue that
We've had a
just
clue
said.
and quite frankly, it didn't help.
I don't know, I'm thinking, I don't know. I feel that this might be the right person, but I'm not entirely sure. As I said before, I sometimes get real royals confused with people on Game of Thrones.
Oh.
So if Daenerys comes up in a minute, I'll be all right. I said that Richard III.
Given his father was called Henry II, I've gone for Henry III. Very imaginative.
Are we right?
Dear.
Who's right?
Let's have a look.
Richard the Lionheart.
See, I have heard of him. But yeah.
Do I get
there we go.
For Richard? I can have half a point.
Half a point. Dear.
You're a lot easier. Lily wouldn't let me have half a point last week.
No, I'm very, very harsh.
You're very strict.
Yeah. Are you in next weekend, Becky?
I can't remember. I think I am. I think I'm in on Saturday. Yeah.
I'm producing on Saturday, so I'll be nice and harsh. There'll be no bonus points next weekend.
I definitely want to win now. Then.
Although
Lily might be really harsh to me next weekend. Maybe I'll let Lily. I might let Lily win. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to let Lily win. Right. Question number 4.
Who have we got?
Who am I? This This king was known for conquering England in 1066.
My pen is not very good, I have to say. I thought it was all clever going for the red pen. I thought we'll go sort of Union Jack themed. I'll take the red whiteboard pen. That will teach me.
I can't think of this person's name. I can't remember.
I could be completely barking up the wrong tree here. I usually am, let's be honest. Usually barking up the wrong tree, but we shall see.
Okay, turn around. Yeah.
I mean, you can't really read mine.
What did yours say?
William the Conqueror.
William the Conqueror, yeah, of course. I've put
What
Harold.
have you put? Oh, I thought it said Harded. I was thinking it was Harded.
I've not. There's an O and an L there.
It's definitely not right.
Harold, no, he shot Harold in the eye, didn't he? William the Conqueror, is that right?
I think so, yeah. Just ring a bell.
I've got the wrong one.
Who is it then? Let's get the answer. Who is it? William the Conqueror.
Well done.
Wow. To be fair, it was a clue that done it for me. I wouldn't have known.
See, like I said, Lily, oh no, I don't know who anybody is. She knows them all.
Apart from the one before, which I certainly didn't know.
I think they're just going to get harder and harder. Okay, so. Next one.
Oh my gosh.
This king was the last crowned Anglo-Saxon king. Can I phone my mother-in-law? She's very good at, yeah.
It's a shame we've not got a phone a friend, ask the audience.
Yeah.
50-50.
He looks very unhappy, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's a very strange style of painting, isn't it? It looks almost like pointillism.
Well, normally they try and paint them to look more attractive than they are.
Yeah, and they've clearly not tried that with him. I'm not sure I know any Anglo-Saxon kings, I'll be honest. I'm trying to think of a name that I've not gone with yet.
Beheaded, do you mean? Yeah. I don't know who this one is. This is, I'm guessing on this. All I can say is he looks very angry.
He does.
Could he be looking angry because he's burnt the cakes?
I don't know.
Who knows? So I've put King Alfred.
I've just put John. Could be his name.
There's quite a lot of Johns on this.
Yeah.
Who's right?
Not me, that's for sure.
None of us. Harold. Harold Godwinson. Why has he got a surname?
I know.
That's weird.
It's very formal. Oh. And he's...
King Alfred, I thought, was the person who burnt cakes.
Oh,
the story about him burning cakes. I don't know.
I don't think I've heard that.
I didn't really listen in history. I found it quite tricky. Lots of people, I think lots of people got William the Conqueror and Queen Victoria. Not sure about the rest of them, but that is quite a tricky one. It makes me realise quite how few monarchs I actually remember. That's not very good, is it?
I've not even heard of a few of them, to be honest. That last one definitely hadn't heard of. So
maybe the last one's going to be the latest king. Might be.
Maybe.
Might be. I know who that is.
I think they do get harder, because I have to say I was actually sat in the room yesterday when the guys in the office were actually making the game. They were like, Lily, don't look, don't listen. So I was there, not looking, not listening, but they were sort of like scheming a little bit. They were plotting. I think they were like, oh yeah, this is a hard one, this is a hard one. I'm trying to over here, but
maybe they're going to throw some sort of random monarchs in that aren't really royal, but you know.
I just thought as well,
like Queen Latifah.
Yeah, have we said that it's only going to be British monarchs?
Oh, I don't know.
It could be foreign ones.
Oh, that's going to be very tricky.
Absolutely stumped. Oh, apparently
British. Oh, yeah, so we might have to sort of gen up in the break.
Oh,
lots of people joining in. We had Ethelred. Yeah, Ethelred the Unready. I can't even remember what he looks like. So that was one of the guesses. Lots of people got Harold as well. So well done, all of you that are sort of joining in with the games. We're going to go for a quick break, and we'll see you in a couple of moments.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the product.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part, and it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
Massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Play Your Crafts right on a fantastic bank holiday weekend. We are celebrating the coronation here as well as I think lots of people around the globe and lots of our viewers by this look of all the comments. Do remember to celebrate this weekend. We are offering you a couple of deals, so you will get double points on every item that you purchase between now and midnight on Monday, and also if you use the code CROWN20 that will give you 20% off selected items on the website, so do make sure you have a quick look at those. Lily, we've been, Play Your Crafts right today is going to be all about royal people. We didn't do very well, really, did we?
No, we didn't do too well.
No.
But, you know, we tried. The effort was there.
We'll do better next time.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
I think we'll do a lot worse. It's going to be really hard.
We will. They're quite tricky, actually, because as we were saying, you know, they probably didn't look like that. That's how we did. That's why we didn't know, really.
Absolutely.
Because those portraits were not, you know, true.
They're not how we remembered them, were they? Back in 1066, we were knocking about, you know. I don't remember Harold looking like that when I saw him.
No, exactly. How did they know? There must have been loads of imposters wandering around the streets, you know. Yeah, I'm King Harold. And they're like, you don't look like your picture. I'm like, no, really, I am. Or people looking at the picture and saying, right, I'm going to dress up. Lookalikes. Maybe that happens a lot. I don't know. Right, back to work. Angel Collection.
Something we do know.
I know, we do know something about this. Angel Collection that we've got here today. So we've got this collection of different dies here. These are absolutely beautiful. You can see how effective these look once they're cut out of some cardstock here. This one is your Believe in Angels. Oh, lots of singing in my ear. Next one is Eternal Love. Come on, sing that. My head. Oh, that's Endless Love. It's close. And the final one is Heaven Sent. Today these are £19 or $23. They're not.
Oh.
The price is wrong.
The price is not right.
£15 or $17 actually, the price is incorrect. Again, do you remember you'll get double points on everything today as well. These are beautiful. I really like these kind of dies. And these are appropriate for so many different occasions, aren't they?
Absolutely. I have to say I was a massive fan of this collection when it launched, and you guys at home were as well. That's why we've not got an awful lot of this collection left, but you still can get lots of versatility from this collection of dies, and what a fantastic price. To get all 3 die sets for £15 or $17 is absolutely amazing, and like Becky's just touched on, we can use these for a range of occasions, both the happy and celebratory occasions and the slightly more sombre occasions as well. These will be absolutely perfect. How great these will be for your confirmation, for your baptism cards, christening cards, anything like that. These are going to be absolutely brilliant. Wedding cards as well, and they're going to give your makes that sort of ethereal look and feel, that really light, that airy, that uplifting sort of spiritual feel to your makes, which is absolutely gorgeous, I think. So for this particular demo, we're going to work with the Eternal Love, and this is like one of our edgeable dies. And if you've never seen an edgeable die before, well, first of all, where have you been? Because they are one of our staple sort of ranges of dies that we do here at Crafters Companion, and they are so versatile. But let me show you, in case you've never seen an edgeable die before, exactly how they work. So it perhaps looks like an ordinary die. You've got all that beautiful detail in there that we know and love and expect from our dies that come from us here at Crafters Companion. But what you'll notice, you'll notice this more when we cut it. One side of your die, when you cut it, it will stay in the cardstock, and the other side will actually cut out. And let's see that in action. So we've taken a piece of cardstock. This is our Centura Pearl Fresh White. It's double-sided, absolutely beautiful quality. You will find that on the website. And we've cut it down to 6 1/4 by 5 inches. So we've got a 6 1/4 by 5 inches card base. Then all we're going to do is going to take our Gemini plates. This will of course fit through your smaller machines, but like I always say, you're limited by the size of your piece of cardstock. So we've got a slightly larger piece of cardstock here, so we're going to use our A4 plates. This is going to be your best friend when it comes to die cutting. If you're new to die cutting, make sure you pick up some of your low tack tape. It's not super sticky, but it's sticky enough that it's going to hold your dies into position. So once you've positioned your die and you're happy with where you've lined that up, we're not just going to risk it and run it through our die cutting machine and hope it doesn't move. What we're going to do is going to pop a couple of pieces of low tack tape onto there, and I always say try and tape onto the waist. So I know this area is going to be part of our card, but this area is going to cut out. That's going to be the waist, so I'm taping onto that side. And again, a couple of pieces of our low tack tape onto there is just going to make sure that doesn't pivot and sort of move when we run that through our die cutting machine. Then all we need to do is just run that through, and that's going to cut that out absolutely beautifully for us. So passing that
cardstock's perfect for this kind of celestial kind of imagery, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think your pearl cardstocks work brilliantly when you are working with your angel collection, and you will find so many of our different Centura pearls on the website, whether it's going to be a white, whether it's going to be something a little bit deeper, perhaps you're going to go for pinks, greens, oranges, any colour at all. You will find all of our Centura pearl on the website. Now with our Centura pearl, it is actually over 300 GSM, so it is a heavyweight cardstock. But one passed through the machine, and what you will have noticed as well, because of the size of our piece of cardstock, we had to put our die in sort of facing along the rollers like that. And quite often people will say, when it comes to die cutting, always have your die along the length of your machine because you're going to get a better cut. But in this instance, we couldn't do that. But with the pressure of your Gemini, it doesn't matter at all. You're going to get that perfect cut, whether you're cutting against the rollers or alongside the plates. Look how beautifully that is die cut, first passed through the machine with all that intricate detail onto a heavyweight cardstock. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? So that's what we mean by an edgeable. We've got that left-hand side which stays into our cardstock, and then the right-hand side is cut out to give us that edgeable look and feel. Absolutely stunning. But in order to actually bring out that detail a little bit more, I'm just going to pop my waste into the bin. We're going to take the die once again, and I always say it's really important when you are working with your dies to make sure you actually pop all of the waste pieces out of your die before you run it back through your die cutting machine.
If you don't, will that mean that it won't cut everything properly?
Absolutely. So what will happen is, if you ran that back through with some of the pieces in there, basically the cardstock's got nowhere to go. When you try to run through another piece of cardstock, when you've got pieces stuck in there, there's nowhere for that cardstock to go. So those bits are not going to cut properly. So just make sure you take that moment to actually take all those pieces out before you run it back through your die cutting machine. Now all we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of this lovely navy cardstock. We're just going to cut that die again. You might notice a little bit scratchy around the edges, but we're not going to worry about that at all. This is going to give us a drop shadow onto our card base. So we're just going to run that through our die cutting machine. It's a lovely linen cardstock. Like I was saying earlier, I think linen cardstock gives you a really expensive, really luxurious finish. And working alongside that Centura pearl, that pearly finish, I think you get a really elegant finish to all of your card making. And I have to say, I love this navy colour. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So run that through our die cutting machine, and all we're going to do, again, how beautifully has that cut first pass through the machine, and you've got all that detail within your die, just absolutely stunning. And I'm throwing my poker tool around, which is never a good idea, is it, when it's just sharp implement, but you know, got to be a little bit careful. Nicola and Mary saying no injuries today, please. We will try. So run that through our die cutting machine, and all we're going to need to do.
Yeah, George is first aid trained, so we're okay.
Oh, we'll be all right. We can have as many injuries as I. Oh, apparently Tracy is
so we're in good hands.
trained. We're all right. We'll be doing okay today, which is good. Right. So all we're going to do is we're going to use this as a drop shadow behind that first piece.
Oh yeah,
doesn't that make a difference? I'm going to stick them together first, and then I'll trim that bit off the bottom. But should we take it one step further? Let's give it even more of an opulent feel. Let's leave our drop shadow to one side for just a moment. Let's bring in one of everybody's favourites, gilding wax. Absolutely gorgeous product. How beautiful is our gilding wax? Now we're going with our, which colour is this? Empire Gold. A little goes such a long way with these. So just dab in our finger into the pot, and then don't go directly onto your piece of card. All you need to do is just take off most of that. So we've just got literally the tiniest bit on our finger, and all we're going to do is just rub that on the edges of this die cut design, and that's going to give it that really elegant, that really opulent feel. That little touch of gold is going to make it look even more regal, and it looks fabulous as well against that pearl cardstock. Just such an elegant finish. Very easy to do. I find it a lot easier to actually work with the gilding wax on my finger. You can use a blending tool if you prefer, but I find you get so much more control by literally just picking up that gilding wax onto your finger, and it will wash off afterwards, so no need to worry about that. You'll find your gilding wax on our website. We do a few different sort of gold tones, and then we do our silver as well. So whatever sort of effect you're wanting to create with your gilding wax, then you've got the different colour options. And how easy is it to just add that tiny little bit of gilding wax? I always say a little goes such a long way. Always start off with a small amount. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. It's that classic saying, isn't it? So just build up those layers, starting off very, very gently. If you want to add more, then absolutely by all means, do so.
Gilding paste will last for a really long time, won't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I have to say, I've only ever had one pot of each colourway.
Really?
And it looks like I've barely used them, and I use them a lot. I know Craig says exactly the same. I think he's had the same pots since he started at Crafters Companion several years ago. It just goes such a long way. I mean, this is the one we have in the studio, and you can see how much is in there, and we all use it day in, day out. It's a favourite of so many people. So if you don't already have that in your crafty stash, definitely check it out. When you've got that 20% off, when you've got your double points, now is definitely the time to go for that. Doesn't that just make a difference? It makes it look even more regal, doesn't it? Which is definitely appropriate for today. Now let's bring back in that drop shadow we die cut earlier. And like I said, with this one, we're going to stick it first, and then we're going to actually trim off the bottom. It just makes it a little bit easier that way. So what we'll do is we'll bring in, let's bring in some of our tacky glue. So we've got some of our tacky glue in our fabulous fine tip glue applicators. Just makes it super easy to get into all that fine detail. Of course, we've got our dotty tape pens back in stock. You could be using those, but your fine tip glue applicators with your tacky glue does just give you that little bit of wiggle room, that time to manoeuvre it into position so you know you've got that perfect placement every single time. So just going round, and you don't need to cover that whole die cut. You just need sort of your glue in strategic places, if you like, just enough that it's going to be anchored into position.
You would use that rather than the dotty tape pen on this bit?
I have to say, I do tend at home to use my tacky glue over my dotty tape pen. I know a lot of the guys here love their dotty tape pens. They're super quick, super easy, mess-free as well. But I tend to favour my tacky glue, but you know, you'll see me using both, of course. We have to have both. We have to have everything, as always, and we do still have those dotty tape pens in stock. So if you've not restocked since we've had them back in, then definitely do check out the website for those. Then all we're going to do is we're going to line it up. So we're going to have the blue underneath, slightly down and slightly towards the left, and then we've got our gilded white piece over the top.
That looks beautiful.
Just a tiny little drop shadow, isn't it, Becky? It's not an awful lot. You don't need a lot of that blue showing, just enough to actually have that colour pop in. And once you're happy that it's in position, just give that a little bit of a burnish down, just to make sure that's stuck into position. The thing about using a dotty tape pen means that you get that instant grab, which is great if you're confident in terms of positioning things, but if you want that moment just to be able to manoeuvre things into position, your tacky glue is perfect, but just be aware that you will need to give it a moment just for that to grab, but of course it does give you that little bit of wiggle room. Now all we need to do now is we need to just bring in our pair of scissors and just trim off at the bottom where we've got that excess. I do, like I say, I find it a lot easier to trim off after I've stuck, just to make sure
that
I
makes
don't...
sense to
yeah, it
do
does,
it that
doesn't
way,
it?
yeah.
I always find that a lot easier with things like ribbon and all sorts of things like that. Just trim it down afterwards and you'll get a much neater effect. And when we fold that over and we've got the white underneath, you can see how much that pops. Absolutely gorgeous. But let's bring in some of our pattern papers now. Now, some of you guys may have caught our brand new paper pads launching on Tuesday. This is from our Summer Meadow 12 by 12 inch paper pad. You will find that on the website. How gorgeous is that? But you'll find it on Shop the Day. I'm hearing in my ear. Check out Shop the Day. You'll find your 12 by 12, your 6 by 6 and your linen card as well. But for this particular card, if we were to add that front side of the paper, it's a little bit heavy, it's a little bit too bold. The angel gets a little bit lost against there. So all we're going to do is we're just going to use that reverse side of the paper, and how wonderfully does that work. A little bit more subtle, and you can see you've almost got like those faux gold flecks into that paper. That's why we chose to use our gold gilding wax. It just brings out the gold in that paper. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to mat and layer that onto some of that lovely navy textured cardstock, getting everything flowing in terms of the design. We've got our drop shadow in our navy. We're going to have our mats and layers in our navy card. It's going to get everything tying together for a really professional looking finished card. And then once we've matted and layered those together, taken of course our tape pen. I have to say, at home quite often I will use my all-purpose glue, but your tape pens are absolutely perfect for speed, and they will give you that really strong bond with all your mats and layers. And so while you can use them for your construction, they are that strong, which is absolutely brilliant to be able to do that with those as well. So that completes our design on the inside. Doesn't that make it pop even more? We've got the pattern paper behind, we've got the drop shadow, we've got the gilding wax, lots going on there, but still quite a simple design in terms of how easy it is to put together. Then to tie in that backing paper in the background into that front piece of the card, we've got a piece of that same pattern paper matted and layered onto some of our same linen textured card. And I think for this piece, I'm going to add this on foam. I added the piece in the centre on flat just with our tape, just because we don't really want dimension on the centre of the card. We need to make sure that the card will close nice and flat. A little bit of dimension, I think, on the front will finish it off nicely.
That looks lovely.
Isn't it nice? Isn't it stylish? There's something quite, I think, expensive looking about. So a design like this is really quite simple, really quite easy and quick, let's be honest. But there's something very elegant about it. And then to finish it off, you'll see if you check out Shop the Day, we've got some of our farmstead, no, it's not farmhouse, that's the one, not farmstead, our farmhouse little die cut 3D toppers in a bundle. You'll see that on tonight's craft vault, and I've chosen a couple of these. I've got your Choose Joy and I've got a little love heart. I'm going to pop these onto the front, but let's start off with a little double ribbon bow using some lovely organza ribbon. So I'm going to pop that onto that top section there. I'm going to pop a little bit more of our tape just onto that tail of the ribbon. It's not sitting too nicely, so just going to pop a little bit of red liner tape onto that tail there.
Always useful to have a bit of red liner tape, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's so clear as well, you can't really see where I've stuck that down. And then let's bring in our sentiment. You do get the 3D foam on the back, but just for a little bit of wiggle room so I can manoeuvre that into position, let's pop a little bit of tacky glue on the back. Let's have that onto there, I think. Choose Joy. I thought that worked quite nicely with the artwork. And then finally, to finish that off, we've got our little love heart again from that topper pad. Where should we go with that? Let's pop that, I think, up in that top right-hand corner. And then a very, very simple and easy card design popped together using that edgeable die within the Angel collection. But how easy is that? And doesn't it look stylish?
Gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. Really, really nice. I put a cloak on because the king has now been crowned, and I got a little bit emotional. I had to have a little bit of a cry. So I did apologise about that once I heard that he'd crowned. That is a beautiful card. Looks really, really good. I think this collection that we've got today, I mean, the value that you're getting on here, just £15, $17. Platinum price is £12 or $13.60. These are absolutely beautiful. You'll be able to use this in so many different occasions. There's something quite beautiful about looking at angels. Angels, sort of uplift you, don't you? Whether you're particularly religious or not, there's something about them that's really, really beautiful. Lots of people loving that. Anne says that is one of my all-time favourite dies that Lilly is using. Barbara said, stunning card, gorgeous card, Lilly. You've done yourself well today, I reckon. I think there are going to be some great demos. Right, we're going to get going on the next round of the game. This is, if you didn't catch the part earlier, this is all about royals. So we've got to guess who the royal people are. Kings, queens, princesses. So far, it's only been kings, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Been very male orientated. Let's hope
we had Queen Victoria.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, we've had no princesses. We've not had us Becky, have we? Not yet.
And let's be honest, there's certainly more kings and queens, weren't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's be honest. So we're going to get started on the second round of the games. I'm not going to do very well on this. Do you think we're going to get this? Who am I? Oh. This king's real name is Albert.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's me out then.
It's not the name we'd know him as. It's not what he was crowned as, but he was born Albert.
Oh. I was going to put Albert. I'm very confused. Very confused.
He's got a lot of regalia all over himself, hasn't he? That's all the little gubbins that he's got there.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I think because I think all of their sort of their garb they wear is quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to go for King Edward. Is that right?
I was going to say Albert, but obviously I'm wrong.
Is that King Edward that abdicated?
Oh, we both.
Of course, he's a Queen's dad, wasn't he? That's where I knew him from.
Oh, it's not who I thought
it was.
They're all
related to the late Queen. They're all related. I'm not doing very well at this.
No, that's not who I thought it was. I thought that was, no.
Never mind. I'm sure lots of people got that at home.
Yeah,
it's just
they're probably screaming at the telly thinking, what are we doing?
No, exactly. Next one.
Oh.
Who's that? Again, angry looking man.
He's wearing your cape. How dare he?
I know. Actually, it's a little bit chilly in the studio today.
It's quite cold, actually.
This is quite. It's quite cosy. Yeah. I think capes are the way to go anyway. I reckon.
Oh, he's an old one. It
okay,
could be anyone.
I'm not going to get this one. I am guessing on this.
I'm trying to think. What is a king's name? I've not gone for.
It is true. There are about 6 names that just go in rotation, don't they?
Not John. John hasn't been on yet.
No, you put John down.
I did.
John, George, Richard, James, or something like that. Ringo.
My pen has completely given up the ghost, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because I'm wrong anyway. But
should we guess?
Yeah.
I've gone for King Alfred because I'm determined he's going to be there somewhere.
Have we had a Richard yet?
Have you gone for? I can't read. Richard. It does look. He does look like a Richard.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It could be a Richard.
Yeah.
Is he a
What's the
Richard?
answer?
No,
Alfred the
Alfred.
Great.
Woo!
Woo!
Not
Is
just
he
any
the
old
one that burnt
Alfred.
the cakes. I'm desperate. Just Google it. Someone burnt some cakes. Someone burnt some
How
cakes.
dare they?
I know.
I burn my cakes.
No. We've got all sorts of cakes and goodies for our party.
We have.
Alfred the Great. He let cakes burn. I was right.
How disgraceful.
See anything to do with food, I remember.
Absolutely. It's interesting bits of history, isn't it?
Okay, let's
Who
go
have we
for
got
the next
next
one.
then? Oh.
I say this queen was 6 days old when she inherited the throne. Wow.
I could be barking up the wrong tree once again.
I'm not sure. I'm guessing. I don't know. They're all sort of. It's the red hair that.
And as well, they are all painted to look the same.
They
so
are.
it could be
Yeah. She didn't look like that in real life.
anyone. Gosh, no.
I don't know. Been around a long time. I'm older than I look.
Very good skincare regime.
Should we turn around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary Queen of Scots.
Mary Queen of Scots.
Apparently there was a film out recently. Who knows?
Are we right?
Yay! I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic, Becky, but you did spell Scots wrong.
I did. I spelled Scots. I spelled Scots like the restaurant. Because I was thinking about food.
Of course.
No, I was thinking
always
about
comes
Scots.
back.
Scots where Nigella Lawson always used to have evening meals. And I think the Queen used to go and eat in Scots.
Never heard of it, I have to say.
I don't know. I did spell that wrong. Won't worry about spelling. Next one. Is this the last one? Second to last one. Right. Penultimate round. Penultimate question. Oh my goodness.
I don't know him. Okay.
First Viking leader to be acknowledged by the Pope as a Christian king.
I feel like I might know it when I hear it, but what names have we not had for a while?
I'm guessing on this one.
Oh, it's not 100% guessable. Well, that's me out then.
I don't know about this one. He looks like he's made out of mosaic in that picture, doesn't he?
Yeah, there was another one that was a similar style of painting. It looks a bit like
almost sort of pointillism.
Yeah.
I do like his crown. It's more of a it's like a pearl necklace. He's wrapped around his neck.
I'd wear one of them. I think I used to have one a bit like that a few years back. Yeah.
Does he get his crown from Claire's Accessories?
I think he might do. And his little scarf as well with a few diamonds on.
Yeah.
Right, who's it going to be? Oh my goodness, somebody's got it right, apparently.
These kind of things never settled in my head. A few things that don't settle in my head.
Oh, 2 people.
Oh.
Blimey, you guys at home know what you're doing. Wow, 3. You're putting us to shame, let's be honest. But it's not hard because I'm not doing
I'm guessing on this one. You're guessing on this one.
Of course I am.
Yeah,
I haven't got a clue.
I've gone for King John.
No way, me too. I was like, we're not a John for a while. It's going to be a John. Go on.
Could it be John? He looks a bit like a John to me.
I wanted to go for Canute the Great. Do you know what? I think I might have heard of him.
I've never heard of that. That's got to be a wind-up. Has anyone got that right? Did people get that right? Oh my goodness, how did you know that? That is amazing that people knew that. I've never heard that.
I think I've heard of King Canute. Is that how you say it, Canute? Canute, in that case, I have heard of him. But I didn't know the answer. I wouldn't know him from a painting like
that. No, exactly. I wouldn't know him, no.
This is the last one.
Okay, last one.
I need to lie down in a darkened room after this. Blooming heck.
We've done brilliantly, really.
Well, at least I've got some. I didn't think I was going to get any.
We've done better than we thought we were going to do. Right, next one,
Not
last
sure about
one.
Very well.
This king was 30 months old when he was crowned as King of the Scots. He looks... It's Mary's son. I wouldn't know who this is, but I'm liking his hat.
Oh, I feel like I know it.
It's quite dashing.
He's got some pearls on there as well. His pearls were all the rage. Lovely collar as well.
So he's a king.
What's his name?
I've got that right. King. I'm guessing on this. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't. My pen's not working either, so it's all going terribly well.
Sandra Dunza says she couldn't spell the last one. Yeah, I'd have a problem spelling that.
Yeah,
it's quite difficult. Okay, I've just guessed on this. I don't know, but I think he looks like Francis Drake.
He does, doesn't he?
So he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that around about the same time? I don't know. I think it was about 100 years difference. Right, I've gone for King James.
What have I put? Charles.
Charles. Oh, that would be a good one. Yeah, I reckon Charles might be right.
Charles? Could it be Charles? Could it be King James?
What's the answer?
Put us out on mystery.
Oh! Woohoo!
Well, I think I was quite frankly thrashed.
5.5 against 4. Oh, that was difficult.
I'll take that. I will take that. Given I thought I was going to get none, I'll take that.
I love it. No, Lily will make me pay for that next week when we do Play Your Crafts Right, when I'm back in. That was well done. So, Team Facebook, we're going to choose 5 names at random, and we will announce those in a minute and you can win your voucher. So, well done. And well done to the team for putting those games together, because it's a bit of a trial. I mean, that could have taken quite a long time to go through. I'm disappointed there was not Queen Latifah on there, or Prince. Because as far as I'm considered, they're royal as well. We're going to take a quick break and we'll see you back in just a couple of moments.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. So, join our family of craft experts with live tutorials and demonstrations every day. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products here at Crafters TV. Get creative and craft along with our amazing deals. Your next craft project is only a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week or watch on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook or our YouTube channel. You can chat to us, craft along and meet new friends in our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
You're all out time with each other! You're not through to boot camp. Get off!
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. So, stop what you're doing and enjoy the fun here on Crafters TV. If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
have to tell you, every single person works tirelessly behind the scenes, and I can't just give a shout out to one person, because for me it has to be John, Tracy and Jake.
Going to give a shout out to our backstage hero, and I'm actually going to say heroes. It has got to be our product coordination team. It's got to be.
Because without those three people, when we're on air, we wouldn't be able to function like we do. They make sure we have everything we need, right from the samples to the product to having a drink of water throughout the show. They really look after us.
You see us day in, day out, 7 days a week, live on TV. We're crafting away, we're hopefully inspiring you. Every single card, every single product, every single tool that we touch has come from product coordination. Those guys are the unsung hero. They're there making sure we have the products, we have the inks, we have the tools, we have everything that we need. We have the power to actually work our Gemini ranges. The smooth running of behind the scenes of Crafters TV is all down to our product coordination team.
Hello everybody, welcome back. I do hope you were enjoying that little break to have a cup of tea, and anyone on Facebook to sort of rest their heads and think, well, great, you know, Team Facebook won. I do have the winners from Facebook. They are Catherine Falder, Kerry Makepeace, Bernie Sale, Carolyn Wilson and Lynn Harvey. They were all picked at random. So if you can email in prizes@crafterscompanion.com, we will make sure that you get your voucher. So well done, and well done to Lilly, because you know it was pretty hard, and most of the time I just guessed. But I'm really quite impressed with how many people got all of those names correct. Well done. That is impressive. Right, we're going to go back to the Bohemian collection. So I've showed you the packaging, but I'm actually going to show you the boards with all of the items on them. This has only been launched a couple of days ago, and it has been incredibly busy. Lots and lots of people loving this. Ooh. That's fallen down. So I'll start going through. This first item are your Dreamcatcher charms. You're going to get 6 of those in there. They're quite a big charm here. You could use them for making some jewellery, actually. They'd be nice as a pair of earrings. But you're going to be getting those. You'll also be getting the Bohemian fan die. You'll also be getting the stencil with the feather on it. This is your dancing feather. Then we have your Dreamy Moon and Stars stencil. Got these gorgeous tassels in all of those different colours that we've seen in that collection with all of those papers. Really, really beautiful. Next thing we've got are your Heavenly Boho feathers. So you've got the outer die there, and you've also got those stamps to create that beautiful design. We then have the mandala. This is Blossoming Mandala stencil. We then have the Build a Dreamcatcher die set. That looks really good. I think you can really sort of go to town with that. And obviously you can use all those different elements separately as well. The next one we have is your Crescent Moon Dreamcatcher. This die is absolutely beautiful. Look at the intricacy of that, and it's going to make a really stunning card. We then have the stamp that you saw Lily using earlier on, which is your Enchanted Floral Feather. We have the Harmony and Happiness stamp sentiments. Fearless? Don't be fearless, be fearless. Faith before worry. What are the other things you say? Free spirit, be true to you. And other sentiments similar. We've got an embossing folder with that gorgeous Dreamcatcher. We have a stamp with that beautiful lady that's just come out of Coachella with flowers in her hair. We then have Wild Feathers and Metal Die. That is beautiful. I mean, just that on its own, with a small sentiment, that is a beautiful card immediately, isn't it? Very, very easy for you to use. This stencil here is beautiful. This is Bohemian Bliss. And then finally, we have a selection of binding ribbon as well. £150, $200, or £120 or $160 for your platinum price. Plus, you'll be getting double points on that as well. So really, really lovely. Well done to all the winners, and do message in. Don't forget to message in to prizes@crafterscompanion.com. Lily, you're going to be using this collection for your next demo, aren't you?
Absolutely, I am. It is like I was saying on that first demonstration, it is absolutely beautiful and something a little bit different. Whether you're using those dream caches and making it very dreamy, or whether you're focusing on the more floral elements within this collection, whatever you choose to use, you're going to get absolutely stunning results, and you're going to make beautiful cards. Perhaps it's going to be home decor pieces, scrapbooks, gift bags, gift boxes. Lots you can do with this collection, and as you can see, you're getting so much included, so there really is lots to play with. Now I'm going to do a little bit more colour, and I want to bring back in those fabulous Tri-Blend brush pens.
Well done.
Wow. Get my teeth around that one. I want to bring those back in and show you a few more techniques colouring with those, because they are so absolutely fabulous. And while we've got them on that amazing offer, and of course you're getting double points, I think it's definitely a great time to start your colouring journey. Or perhaps get some more pens. Perhaps you're using your classics at the moment, you want to get into your tri-blends, then this is a great place to start. So let's start off with a little bit of stamping. All we've done is we've taken that gorgeous lady. I have to say, I wish I had hair like her. How absolutely stunning is her hair. You've got all the detail within there, which is going to be very, very useful when we come to colouring this image. It's going to make our colouring an awful lot easier. So we've got all the detail within there. We've also got all of the detail within the flowers, within her jewellery. Absolutely beautiful. And what we've done is we've stamped onto Neenah cardstock again. Don't forget, it's that super smooth cardstock, ideal for use with your alcohol pens. We've stamped using an alcohol-proof ink pad, again using the pebble, which I always say is almost like a little bit of a cross between a grey and a brown. It's just a little bit less harsh than stamping in black, and gives us that more soft look and feel to our stamped images. So that's our stamped image all good to go. You'll notice that my cardstock is perhaps a little bit messy around the edges. Don't worry, we are going to fussy cut this out a little bit later, so I've just used a scrap of my cardstock, and it's a great way to use up those scraps that you've got of your Neenah card. So let's start off with colouring the hair. So again, I'm going back to the colours that you're getting included within that amazing deal we've got running this weekend. We're going to go within the Autumn Hues pen set. We've got our gold brown blend. Another hard one to say, gold brown blend, but you are getting that included within your Autumn Hues. Let's use that same technique again of starting off with our lightest colour tone. And again, we're just going to focus on one area at a time. I'm not going to do all of the hair at once. I'm just going to focus on this lower section. These brush nibs are absolutely ideal for colouring hair. You're going to get such beautiful results, and we're going to use that flicking technique that we touched on a little bit earlier when we were colouring in those leaves. Now what we want to do is we actually want to leave in what we call our preserved highlights. So these are areas where we've got the lightest areas of our image, and we're not going to add any of the colour onto there at all. So we're not going to colour on that section in the middle. We're going to leave a little bit of our preserved highlight there, and then on this bottom section we're going to leave that middle area just within there without any of this lightest colour tone, just flicking inwards, and it's going to give us that really realistic look, as if the light's kind of like shining on her hair, and it's going to look absolutely fabulous. So leaving in those sections with our white, then we go into our mid-tone within our gold brown blend, and again we're just letting that stamped artwork do all the hard work. We're not having to think too much about light sources. I'm not having to draw an arrow where the sun might be coming from on my artwork. Nothing like that at all. We literally just letting the stamped line do all the hard work, and again letting that brush nib take all of the strain out of colouring, just flicking upwards. And if you find it easier to turn your cardstock, then by all means do so. If you've got that brilliant rotating design board that we bring to you from Totally Tiffany, then that's definitely a good one to use when you are doing your colouring. It just makes it a lot easier to turn your artwork rather than turning your hand and sort of trying to get your wrist in an unnatural position. We say just make your life as easy as possible. Don't make things difficult for yourself if you don't have to, and it's still going to give you a fabulous finished result. So just flicking her hair just like so, leaving that area in the centre where we've got our lightest colour tone, leaving a little bit of that exposed as we start to build up our colour tones. And then we move into our darkest within this 3-pen blend, which is actually our GB10. And what you might notice, perhaps you use our classics at the moment, you'll notice that our tri-blends, whether they be the brush nib or the bullet nib, actually have the same colour families, the same colour codes. same naming system as the illustrators, as the classics. So if you do want to use your tri-blends alongside your classics or your illustrators, then there's absolutely nothing from stopping you doing so. Perhaps you've got a wide range of classics in your stash, but you're just going to pick up these 18 pens today with your tri-blend brush. Of course, you can mix and match, and by having that same naming system, it makes it really easy to do just that. And as well, there's nothing from stopping you. There's nothing stopping you from mixing and matching your regular tri-blends with your tri-blend brush nibs. Of course, you can do that. Perhaps you've got certain areas of an image you want to colour with your bullet nib and certain areas you want to colour with your brush nib, then absolutely you can be doing that too. But you can see how easily and how quickly that hair starts to come together.
It really does look so three-dimensional.
Doesn't it? And that's the difference of leaving that preserved highlight does make an absolutely massive difference when it comes to your colouring. And all we're going to do is we're going to focus on a different area. You repeat the same process with that top part of the hair. But let's now focus on her dress. So we're going to use our jade green blend. Again, going in with that lightest colour tone, which is our, this is a hard one to say, our JG1. Phew, blimey me. I feel like we've been set up to fail today, Becky.
All these tongue twisters.
Yeah, absolutely.
What couldn't I say last weekend?
Oh gosh, yes, what was it?
Freebie
Frenzy, that was it.
Saying Phoebe Frenzy.
Yeah, it was not an easy one to say, I have to say.
I don't think they think about the things that we have to say when we're doing the shows.
Well, to be honest, I think they do.
Or they do it deliberately?
I think they make it as hard as they can because they know they don't have to say it. I've said this time and time again with some of the ranges that we bring you. Though the one that I always get stuck on, that's it. Floral frame cut and embossed folders. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think the people that name them know full well that they don't have to stand here and look, quite frankly, rather silly when we can't get our words out. But yeah, Freebie Frenzy, that was a fun one. I have to say, saying double points and 20% off is a lot easier, let's be honest.
Yes, it is.
Of course, that's what we've got all this weekend, which is brilliant. So I think it's always nice to get your double points, isn't it? Just
it is.
Helps move you up that ladder a little bit.
I think, you suddenly realise how quickly they mount up, don't they?
Well, I mean, when you buy as much as I, and I think you too, Becky, because I know what we both like, you can move up that ladder quite quickly, which is brilliant, because of course, sort of like the top tier is Platinum Club. We all want to get into the Platinum Club. So definitely the time to stock up when you've got your double points. Perhaps you're thinking you're running low on some of your adhesives, you need some more of your tape pens maybe you're going to get some of your card stocks, and definitely the time to stock up. When you've got your 20% off code, when you've got your double points, great time to get all those essentials in. So what we're doing is we're going around this part of the image, same sort of technique as we've shown already, going in with that lightest colour tone first, all over that part of the image, all over her dress in this instance. And then we're just flicking out using our mid-tone of this 3-pen blend, starting to build up that dimension. And again, all I'm doing is I'm just following the clues, the lines that we've already got in that stamp, and just colouring along those, nice and easy to start to build up our shading onto the image. I have to say, it's such a joy to colour. When you've got great quality pens like these, you've got beautiful artwork like we've got in this stamp, it just makes stamping and colouring so much fun. I mean, of course, we're using our tri-blend brush pens here, but there's nothing from stopping you using any other colouring medium. Perhaps you love your aqua pens, your water-based mediums. Absolutely use those if you prefer. Lots and lots of different options using your stamps, of course. Just pick and choose whatever you prefer to colour with. It'll work perfectly with your stamping. So going in with that darkest colour tone, adding in the dimension onto there, just to finish off this section of the image. And you'll notice I'm really just flicking, just working quite lightly onto the image. You're not having to scrub the colour down. It's just so easy, so smooth to lay down that colour onto our image.
Which pens do you use the most?
Oh gosh, Becky, I have to say quite probably my tri-blends or my tri-blend brush.
Right.
just because they are so convenient to have the 3 pens in one. I mean, I do go on about it time and time again. My storage situation at the moment, a little bit of a nightmare. Less said about that, the better. But these are fabulous because you've got, I always say, it's 3 pens in one. So traditionally with an ordinary pen, if you like, this would be 3 separate pens. So instead of having to store the one, you'd have to be storing 3. Obviously going to take up a lot more space in your craft room. By having your 3 colour tones within one, it's saving on your storage, which is brilliant. And of course, if you're taking these out with you, perhaps you're crafting on the go, crafting on holiday on the caravan, or perhaps you're going on a long train journey, these are great because it means you've got less to carry, which is brilliant. So quite possibly my tri-blends, but I do love the tri-blend brush because, like I say, that brush nib, is absolutely fabulous, so easy to colour with. So what we'd go ahead and do is we continue colouring in the image in the same sort of vein. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the skin first to start with though. Let's go in with our fair skin blend. Let's colour our face nice and easy to do this lay down, that lightest colour tone. And I'm thinking it would be darker where her hair is, where that's overlapping her face. It's going to be casting a little bit of a shadow, so it's going to be darkest there. And then as we move outwards away from where her hairline is, it's going to be a little bit lighter. You're going to have that highlight onto there. So we're adding the darker onto that left-hand side and then keeping it lighter towards that right-hand side of the image, just to build up that shade and dimension onto there. All we then do is we carry on colouring in our image in the same sort of vein as we have been doing here, and we'd get something a little bit like that.
That's
Doesn't
gorgeous.
that just pop? And I have to say, I wouldn't usually go for the colour combos that I've gone for there with your orange and your green, but you'll notice why I've done that in just a moment when I bring the papers in. And then all we've gone ahead and done is just cut around the edges using a pair of our little snippy scissors. And that's our gorgeous lady, our focal point of this card, all good to go. But let's pop her to the side for just a moment and let's start to build our card. We're going to just go for something a little bit different with this particular card shape. Let's go for a TP card. I know our Debbie Robinson loves a TP card, so we're going to create one of those for this particular card. All we need to do is we need to take 3 squares of cardstock, and this now, I've been talking about this a little bit, I'm trying to use up some of my older stash.
Okay.
I've got a lot of paper pads, Becky.
Do you?
And when I say a lot of paper pads, a lot of paper pads. And I'm trying, and I am one of those where I look at it and think, it's too pretty, I can't cut into it. No, Nicola, I'm not telling you how many, because quite frankly, I don't even know it's that many. And I am one of those who I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, I can't cut into it, I can't use it, I'll just stroke it, I'll just sniff it. But, and this is probably not great, my rationale now is, well, Lily, if you use it up, you can buy more.
Oh, good idea.
So,
well, you know.
It's kind of like, it's not really helping, but it is. So
you're going to buy it
helping.
anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well use it up.
Absolutely. So I'm like, do you know what? If you use up that old one, then you can buy another new one to replace it. So that is the rationale. That's how I'm managing to cut into some of these older paper pads. So you might see in some of my demos, some of the older paper pads coming in. I'm sure a lot of you guys at home will have these too. This one is Sarah's Signature Garden Party. It's our pearl card pad. Absolutely gorgeous pearl card you've got within this 12 by 12 pad. And all we've gone ahead and done is we've cut 3 6 by 6 inch squares. Then all you need to do is just score on the diagonal on all 3. So you've got 3 which are exactly the same. Very, very easy to do.
Okay.
Then all we need to do is we need to line them up. So line your 2 up like that with your line going that way. So you've got your score line meeting at the top. And then that other one, that third one, is going to be stuck into the middle. Okay. So I know I'm going to need tape along these 2 edges and a little bit along those 2 there. So let's bring in our tape pen. I was saying earlier how these are so strong, we can use them for our construction as well as our mats and layers, and absolutely we can do that because they are so strong. I mean, it's so unheard of. I mean, I'm sure you've probably not come across any tape pens yourself, Becky, which you can use for construction other than ours. It's pretty much unheard of, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant to be able to do that. So we're just going to line that up. So line up one at a time onto there like so. So you line up that score line with the edge of that. And then finally you need to line up the other one onto there. But we're just going to turn this over to make sure we've got a slight gap between those 2 so that we can actually fold our card. So if you need to fold it flat for posting, then by having that slightest little gap between those 2 means you can absolutely do that. Then we're just going to go ahead and reinforce those score lines.
Yeah.
And then reinforce that middle one. At this point you're thinking, what on earth is being created here.
Looks like a beak.
Not a lot. Oh, what, sorry?
Looks like a beak.
It does, doesn't it? Quack, quack, quack. Anyway, that's enough of that. Then all we need to do, and it comes together so quickly, it goes from looking like a beak to all we need to do, fold it round, and you've got yourself a TP card. How super easy is that? So different as well. Now, the way I tend to secure mine is I'll use something like a hook and loop dot or a magnet onto there. But in this instance, I must say I forgot my hook and loop dot. So we are going to have to glue ours together. So it's not going to fall flat, but it'll be a lovely ornament. Now, we're just going to decorate the front. So let's have this piece as our, let's go for this one. Let's have the fold at the back. So we'll go for this piece as our front. So this is the part we want to decorate. So I was talking about earlier how I chose my colour tones for the colouring that I've done. Look at that,
yeah.
Oh, isn't it gorgeous? I mean, I wouldn't usually go for green and orange, but I was inspired by this fabulous paper. Of course, part of the Bohemian collection. It's part of the 6x6 pad, and the way I always work when I'm doing my colouring and I'm picking my papers, I'll always pick my papers first, and then I'll pick my coloured cardstock, and then I'll pick my pen colours.
Right.
I find that's the easiest way to work. So I'm always inspired by the colour tones in my pattern papers first. So paper, cardstock, pen colours, I just find it's the easiest way to work. So we've got our, what am I doing? Have I cut this wrong? Ooh, no. It was fooling me. I was thinking, I'm sure this is right, because it's a right angle triangle, isn't it? And I was trying to find where the right angle is. It's there. There we go. That lines up onto there just like so. Oof, blimey, that got all too technical. I was thinking, I'm sure this fits. It fitted last night, doesn't know what's gone off here. But yes, it will fit perfectly onto our card base. And like I say, we're just going to decorate the one side. Of course, if you really want to go to town, you could decorate all three sides and have almost like a 360 3D decoration, if you like, which would look fabulous. So when that folds up, that's going to be the front side of our card. Let's bring in our decorations now though. Let's bring in this gorgeous lady that we coloured in using our amazing tri-blends. Then we're going to have her down that left-hand side. Just going to add a little bit of shape into her, just to give a little bit more dimension, a little bit of lift onto that. Just makes it look a little bit more 3D, which is always a good thing. Then let's use some of our foam pads to get an extra bit of dimension. So I'm just going to stick that top part first, just because we're going to have her overlapping the base a little bit, and then we can pop another foam pad just onto the bottom so that we don't stick foam pads onto the reverse where we don't need them. Just easier to pop one on and then another one just to support that. Then what we've done is we've stamped one of the sentiments from the collection. Just as beautiful. I think that's really pretty to go alongside. Isn't it a nice sentiment?
Yeah.
I love the font on there. Now all we've done is we've just trimmed the edge into that almost like flag shape. Matting and layered that again onto that gorgeous orange. What a beautiful colour that is. I wouldn't have usually gone for orange, but I have to say the orange in this collection is just stunning.
It works really well with that grey pearlescent cardstock as well, doesn't
it? Yeah, it's funny because, like I say, you wouldn't normally go for that colour combination, but just be inspired by your papers and you'll get something absolutely gorgeous. Now let's pop that to one side and bring back in some of the dies that you're getting within the Bohemian collection. So we're going to take our Bohemian fan. This is great. As a little finishing touch, as a little embellishment, this is absolutely brilliant. So going to pop that through our die cutting machine with some of our lovely orange cardstock, I think. And again, this is linen textured. Like I was saying earlier, I love my linen texture when it comes to my cardstocks. And then let's also go for my Build a Dream Catcher, which of course, as the name suggests, it allows you to build your own quite 3D looking dream catchers. But you don't just have to use a die set for that. In this instance, we're going to use some of the feathers just on their own as a little finishing touch. So I think we're going to cut 3 of the feathers out of our orange cardstock. So just going to pop those onto this little scrap. You can see I'm definitely using up the scraps here.
You are,
not
which is good because quite often we keep things, in a scrap box, don't we? And never get around to using them. But having these little embellishment dies, you can sort of get all of the use out for your cardstock.
Absolutely. I mean, when you've got cardstock that's this beautiful, you don't want it to go to waste, do you? You want to be using up every single last piece. And when you've got little dies like this, it's absolutely perfect for using all of those scraps. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, I am horrendous for saving the tiniest little scraps, Becky.
Really?
I'm sure you can probably imagine. I mean, it's like it's ridiculous. I'm like, why am I saving this? And I'll come across it at a later date and I'll think Lily, but then I'll think, but it's lovely cardstock, I don't want it to go to waste. And that's why you end up with so many scraps of card. But being able to use them up kind of straight away, if you like, because this was the leftover pieces from my matting and layering for this card, if you use them up straight away on that same card, stops them having to go into your bit box, so you'll get use of them straight away, stops them building up, which is definitely always a good thing, because we can end up with an awful lot of scraps of paper and card. How cute are these though?
They're pretty, aren't they?
They're lovely, just as that little embellishment, that little finishing touch. They work fabulously, and all tying in with that lovely theme of the feathers, that really carefree bohemian feel to this collection. I think it's absolutely stunning. And then the fan, I mean, beautiful, gorgeous detail. You've got all the flowers within this die, got all that lacy detail. I mean, we're using it in the orange tones, but how about using it in sort of your reds, your blacks and your golds? It could look almost quite oriental if you wanted it to be. Lots of options with these. Just have a play and you'll come up with lots of different ideas. Mix and match different paper pads you might already have as well, and that will completely change the look and feel too. So just varying up what you're doing, and that's what it's all about when it comes to crafting. I mean, we have lots of different collections, and I think sometimes perhaps we forget about our older collections, but get out your older paper pads, get out your older collections, mix and match things together, and that is absolutely what it's all about, just having a play. Now let's bring our card back in at this point. We've cut some more little embellishments. We've cut some of our feathers from that lovely sagey pearl card. We've also cut our fan from that cardstock. I think we're going to drop shadow these two together. So having the orange on its own is a little bit too bold, I think. So let's go for the, let's go for the orange underneath. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I think. All we're going to do is we're going to bring in, let's use our Dottie's tape pen for this, just for speed, and we're going to pop our orange layer underneath our sagey green layer and just stick these together. I'm going to add in a little bit of our tacky glue, so I'm not sure how much of that I managed to catch with my tape pen. That's just going to allow us to manoeuvre this into position a little bit easier as well. So a bit of our tacky glue around the edges and just drop shadow in this. If we were to add that onto the card as it is, it gets lost a little bit, but by adding that orange layer underneath, that's going to allow it to pop. It's going to bring that orange tone into that area of the card, and it's going to get everything tying together beautifully. So once we've layered those two together, then we're going to pop this onto our card. I think we're going to stick it just underneath our main focal image where we've got that gorgeous stamped image. Just as that little embellishment poking out, I think will look absolutely gorgeous. So a little bit of our tacky glue on the reverse. Like I was saying earlier, you don't need to worry about having it all over that die cut. It doesn't have to be completely covered in glue, just enough that it's going to be stuck down into position. And once you're happy that you've got enough glue on there, let's just, and I've just realised we don't actually need any on that top side, because it is going to be hanging over the edge, but no worry at all, with it being glue, it will just dry with no issue at all. I think let's have it a little bit further up like so, and then let's just press that into position just to make sure it's stuck down nicely. Like I was saying earlier, your tacky glue does just take a minute to grab, but once it has stuck, it will have stuck perfectly. We're just going to wipe the excess glue off on that reverse. And then let's bring in some of these feathers. So I think we're going to have a bow at the top. First, before we stick our bow on, let's bring in one of these gorgeous metal charms. These are just absolutely stunning. And all I'm going to do to stick this down is I'm going to take some of my hot glue. It's on, yes, it is on. It always does help when you've actually got it switched on, that is for sure. I'm going to take some of the glue, I'm going to pop a little blob onto that top part of our card. And all we're going to do, and I'm not going to worry about this showing because we're going to pop the bow over the top, and then that's going to hide where we've got the hot glue onto there. Hold that into position, and then let's take our bow, and of course we've used the seam binding that you're getting included within the collection. Ties the most beautiful bows that really do hold their shape, and then that's just going to go over our dream catcher to finish that off like so. And then let's bring in, to finish off, some of these lovely flowers that we die cut from the orange and also from the green. So let's use some of our tacky glue to pop this onto the reverse just to stick them into position. And
Having that kind of teepee card with this kind of Bohemian kind of festival kind of feel to it, it all works really well together, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I have to say this is one of the sort of first card shapes, concept card shapes that came to mind for me when I first saw this collection. I think it's a great one. To create something a little bit different. It's quite an unusual card shape. Don't see them an awful lot. I mean, I know our Debbie Robinson absolutely loves them, but you don't see them generally an awful lot. Something a little bit different, but like you say, Becky, doesn't it work with this style of artwork?
Absolutely.
Absolutely perfectly. I have loved playing with this collection. It's so much fun just to build up all those layers. You've got the main focal images, and then you've got all those embellishment dies, embellishment stamps as well. You've got your embellishments like your dream catchers, your seam binding, even your tassels. So much included in the collection, so much to play with. It's going to give you those really professional finished results by adding in those charms. I mean, it adds that little bit of luxury, doesn't it? Which I think is
I totally agree. But having all of those different, having that different shape and all of those different elements that you've put in there, no, thinking of it as they're getting that as a gift, you would be wowed by that. But if you could buy that at a craft fair or something like that, again, you would be quite happy to part with a good chunk of change for something that beautiful.
Absolutely, because I would say this is it's version on a gift, it's version on a keepsake, rather than, and I hate the term just a card. Yeah. But rather than just a card, if we're gonna say that, and it just is something that someone's going to treasure for many, many years to come. So just going to make sure that those are overlapping. That's stuck down nicely.
Samantha Lung says, Becky, I think they should rename or name the girl stamp Phoebe. And that is Phoebe from Friends. She was a bit hippie-ish.
Not that again. But then if you try and say Phoebe, I bet you'll end up saying Phoebe.
You know me well.
Yeah, all too well. So at this stage, what I'd usually be doing is I'd add a magnet or a hook and loop fastening dot onto there, just so that it can be folded flat for posting. But for this instance, we're going to have it as a proper sort of 3D decoration. RTP card, using that amazing Bohemian collection. Quite easy to put together, using those amazing pens, of course, that we're getting within that Weekend Wonder deal, but just so much fun to have a play and put all those pieces together.
That's stunning. Really, really beautiful. Lilly and Quox has just got home. Hello, Becky, our pineapple queen. And Lilly put my teeth in colouring queen.
That's put my teeth in.
Donna says, good morning from Florida. Just woke up. What a big day. She also says she's just started using the tape pens. They're amazing and I won't use anything else. I think you're right in what you were saying. You know, they do hold, when you're doing construction, they still hold everything together. Laurie says, good morning from St. Helens, Michigan. And Alicia says, good morning, greetings from Arkansas. Congratulations to the UK for the coronation and the King and Queen. Blessings to the UK. Thank you very much. Yeah, congratulations to the King and Queen. I hope you're all having a lovely coronation weekend. Now, if you're keen on doing something like Lilly's just done, you might want to have a look at our offers on our pens. So we have the Spectrum Noir brush pens. This first one is Winter Holiday with the beautiful sort of turquoise and sort of purple colours. Then we have Autumn Hues. We've also got Classic Chic. We've got Cottage Garden. I feel like I should be singing some kind of like funky song. Chic. Natural Tones. And then we have Spring Blooms here, £35 or $50. Your platinum price is £28 or $40, and you will get double points as well. These are just beautiful pens. I don't have any of the brush pens. I'll pop those over there. Take those with me later on, maybe. Do message in and let us know what you're getting up to this weekend. Are you partying? Are you going out? Maybe we've got a street party later on this afternoon. I know lots of people in the US are watching the Kentucky Derby, and I've never watched that. I don't know whether is that like Ascot? No, do you wear big hats?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Dress up? I don't know. I've not watched it before.
No, me neither.
If you've got any tips, let us know so we can place a bet on a little bit later on. We need to do demo of the show.
We do.
Don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, let's get those votes in. Yep. So, what have we got to vote for? So, start of the show. Feels like, I always say this, but it feels like ages ago.
It does, doesn't it?
First demo was using that amazing Bohemian collection, that fabulous stamp onto that for this easel card. That is demo number 1.
That's gorgeous.
Demo number 2, we really stripped it back and went right back to basics. Sort of the most simple thing you can do with one of our edgeable dies, but that's using that incredible value Angel collection. demo number 2. And then demo number 3, we went back to that amazing Bohemian range for our TP card. That is demo number 3. 1, 2 or 3, get those votes in.
I think we, in the gallery, I think they're hedging their bets for what's going to be the winner for that one, but they are all absolutely lovely. And later on, we've got First Look, haven't we?
We certainly do.
With
oh my gosh.
Something quite spectacular, these new ink pads.
Oh my goodness, Becky, I am so excited for this. You guys, you have to join us at 2 o'clock. So what have we got? We've got a First Look coming up. These are actually launching properly on Tuesday, officially at 2 o'clock. Like always, we'll give you a sneak peek on Wake Up Call. Now, if you collect our Spectrum Raw ink pads, like I do, let's be honest, if you've never tried ink pads before, it's for you. If you collect them, it's for you. What have we got? We've got Duet ink pads. What is a Duet ink pad? Well, we'll go into much more detail later, but basically, absolutely incredible. It's a fusion of a water-based and a water-reactive ink pad.
Ooh.
So you get some of the properties of a pigment ink pad, and you have some of the properties of a water-reactive ink pad. They give you an incredible chalky finish, that matte chalky finish, and when you add water, oh my gosh, you don't just get that faux bleaching effect that we get with our water-reactive, you get almost like a chalky kind of oxidized effect. They are incredible. We've got 12 brand new colours, and as if it wasn't enough to be bringing you a brand new type of ink pad, not just new ink pad colours, a brand new type of ink pad. As if that wasn't enough, we've thrown in, I say thrown in, we've perfectly matched stamp sets, 4 stamp sets and 4 stencil sets. And then, to crown it all off, we're bringing you our blending brushes. Oh my goodness, they are amazing. I can't wait to show you them. And also, take a breath, Lily. Get my teeth in, take my breath. Our Easy Grip Matte. Incredible. It sounds so simple, and when you get it, you're like, how have I lived without this? Honestly, I am so excited for First Look. I'm even more excited for the launch on Tuesday, but I know you guys are going to want to pick up these ink pads. So join us at 2 o'clock. See what I'm so excited about, because I'm going to be sharing with you so many techniques. We're going to go through stamping with these ink pads. We're going to be going through sort of using your stencils and then lifting the colour away by spritzing with water. I know. We're going to be watercolouring with them. What else are we going to be doing? We're going to be using our clear sparkle pens with them. Yeah. So many techniques coming up. I'm going to try and cover as much as I can in the 2 hours.
Brilliant.
But, I mean, we're just really scratching the surface. It's going to be epic. Make sure you have a little bit of a rest, perhaps watch the coronation during the break, but make sure you're back at 2 o'clock, because Becky, it's going to be inky, it's going to be messy, and it's going to be blooming good fun.
Oh, I like the idea of that. Definitely exciting to see all these different techniques. And this is a great opportunity. If you're new to us, you've just started watching us, you've got any questions about using the ink pads, or indeed anything at all, do remember to keep those questions and ask us when we come back at 2 o'clock. We've got lots more to show you. So we've got Craft Vault later on this evening. And we've got some amazing deals on there for you as well. So we always give you good deals. We're also giving you lots and lots of information to show you how to use your items. Do remember, if there's anything that you've missed, you can always watch us back on YouTube. So if there's a technique, perhaps you've bought something, perhaps you've ordered the Bohemian collection and you want to come back to see some of those demos that Lily has done, you can always watch us back by having a look at YouTube, which I think is always really great and very key about what we do here, that we don't just show you the item that you can use and then you buy it and then you're left on your own. There's always information and ideas about how to get the most out of the products that you've purchased from us, to sort of inspire you to make more. So do make sure you have a look at that as well. Lots of people loved what you just made. Donna said that certainly is a piece of art with all of those bits and pieces you've done. I do have the demo of the show.
Oh,
Lily, what did you think it was?
I think it's 3. But I'm usually wrong.
Everyone's right. It is number 3. Woohoo! Well done. That is absolutely beautiful. Really like that. I'm going to have a go at a TP card. I've not made one.
Honestly, Becky, they are so easy. I hadn't made one until quite recently. I've watched Debbie Robinson, because she lives. I've watched her make them. I thought, do you know what? That does actually look really easy. I'll give it a go. It's one of the easiest card shapes to make. And you look at that and you think, how do I do that? But so easy. give it a go, Becky. And you guys at home, if you've never tried it, give it a go. And of course, as always, share your makes with us. We love seeing what you guys create.
Absolutely, definitely. Well done. So Kelly also says, I'm taking my grandkids to a kid craft event, then home to craft and watch CC on the big TV. It's going to be a perfect day. Or I do hope it's going to be a perfect day for everybody. Congratulations, King Charles and Queen Camilla as well, because obviously, as lots of you know, you've been watching the coronation and they've now been crowned King and Queen. To everybody else that's not celebrating the celebration, the coronation today, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Make sure you come back and see us at 2 p.m. for that first look of those beautiful ink pads. We'll see you later.